Our guesses were pretty good at the outset today that we'd see the infielders very busy for both ball clubs if their pitchers were on their game, and both Saarloos and Mays were. Saarloos, for example, had 10 ground ball outs in his 6 innings of work, and Mays had picked up 13 ground ball outs before things began to deteriorate for him in the 6th inning, an inning which he was not able to complete. And then, of course, the A's added one more on a Kotsay home run against the bullpen that gave that 3-run margin for the A's bullpen to shut down the Twins the rest of the way, despite that late threat against Street in the 9th inning of the ball game. So it was pretty eventless as far as scoring opportunities were concerned until we got to the top half of the 6th inning. Actually, Saarloos had to deal with 2 singles with 1 out in the 3rd, but got a force out and then a ground ball out. And then in the 5th with 2 out, a pair of singles put runners at 1st and 3rd, then a steal 2nd and 3rd. But on a 3-2 pitch, Shannon Stewart fouled out to 1st, and the scoreless tie continued. But in the top of the 6th with 1 away, Joe Mauer singled to left field, bringing up Justin Morneau, another left-handed batter. And Saarloos got a quick strike on Morneau before trouble struck. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing, and there it goes. It is way gone to right field. A booming home run by Morneau, and just like that, the A's are trailing 2-0. Dead right field and well into the seats. Morneau, with his 16th homer of the year, gives him 56 runs batted in. And then Saarloos came back to get the next 2 hitters. It turned out that would be his last for the day, and it would be up to the bullpen the rest of the way. But at this point, nobody knew whether the A's would be in front by the time that bullpen arrived, and particularly after Kotsay grounded out to start the 6th with his 13th ground ball out achieved by Mays. But then a case of poor judgment in right field by Michael Ryan gave the A's a little nose under the tent, if you will, with Bobby Crosby's at bat, and that seemed to have a cumulative effect. And the line for the pitch again. Driven to right field, a line drive, and coming on Ryan, can't get it, makes a dive, bad idea, rolling to the ball, Crosby around second, Crosby on the way to third, and he rounds third hard, and is held up by Ron Washington.
Good call, Bill. You're right on it. Bad advice.
I have no idea what Michael Ryan was thinking. He had no chance to get through it. You're in a 2-0 ball game, a 1-out situation, nobody on, play the hop, give him a single.
It worked out very well for the A's. Bobby Crosby had an inside-the-park home run in Toronto. Maybe thinking it again as he ran hard to Ron Washington, but Wash stopped him.
Things worked out even better for the A's as Eric Chavez, the next hitter, drew a base on balls, bringing up Dan Johnson, who had flied deep to center field in the 2nd, hit the ball pretty well, and then grounded out in the 4th. And Mays, by the way, I might add, holds left-handers to a much lower average than right-handers. But Johnson shook all that off. He sets and deals. Johnson grounds it toward the right side. Base hit through the hole. Crosby's in with a run. Racing from first to third goes Chavez. He is in, and it's a 2-1 Twins lead. That brought up Jay Payton, and Payton had only 1 hit in 17 at-bats against the Twins and had sort of a slow homestand with the stick, and he, too, got a strike before he struck. Mays hands in front of the chest, pours in the next pitch. Swing, there's a drive, fills it to left center field. It is a gunner for a 3-run homer, and the A's are in front. A rocket cleared the wall between the 362 and 388 marks, and Jay Payton checks in with his 13th home run of the year, and the A's had the lead 4-2. Well, when it came the 7th inning for the Twins, Kiko Calero was on the mound for the A's and retired the side with only a walk, striking out a pair. In the bottom half of the 7th, Jesse Crane by this time was on the mound for the Twins, having come on to get the final out in the 6th inning. And with 1 out, Mark Kotsay, who today was back in his normal center field slot, worked a full count and a very determined at bat.
Here it's 4-2 A's. Now the 3-2 pitch to Kotsay. Breaking ball hits it deep right, way back. Ryan is going to watch. It is gone. Mark Kotsay into dead right field. And now a 3-run lead for the A's at 5-2.
Well, that's just such a great swing by Coste. Fouled off the tough fastball. And unfortunately, at times, the pitcher catcher thinks, well, I fooled him with an off-speed pitch. Coste was all over it. And great to see him coming back from his back problem and put on a great swing on a breaking ball.
And Ken Maka gave the eighth inning to Jay Witosik, and the hard-throwing right-hander got 2 quick outs, but Morneau reached him for a double to right field. And then Lou Ford was hit by a pitch, and suddenly the tying run was at the plate. The struggling Michael Ryan, who had made that bad judgment dive on Crosby's ball, looking for a base hit. He was 0 for his last 22, and Witosik got him in a situation to put him away.
Jay Witosik, 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on it, missed. Breaking ball in the dirt. Witosik strikes out Ryan, the potential tying run to send the Twins down in the top of the 8th inning. They leave 2, and after 7.5, A's 5, Minnesota 2.
And that's where it was when the Twins came to bat in the 9th inning of the ball game with Kadire to lead off against Houston Street, and Street gave up the leadoff walk. And then with the veteran catcher Mike Redmond at the plate, already had 2 hits this afternoon. Redmond just proved you don't have to necessarily hit it hard to do some damage. Hit it where they ain't. Cut up outside the pitch. Swing, and there's a soft fly ball to right, and they fall, and it does, and bounces past Swisher. And around second on the way to third is Kadire. Around first on the way to second goes Redmond. And second and third with nobody out. It was a little flare spinning down to shallow right field, charging hard. Swisher overran it once it bounced because it had that twist and kick from the spin. So it's a single and E9. That later was changed by scorer David Feldman to a double all the way. No error was charged on Swisher. So now it was Bartlett at the bottom of the order and then the top of the order coming up. Each time the hitter represented the potential tying run. But Street found a way to get Bartlett looking at a third strike. Then had to deal with the veteran Shannon Stewart, who fouled off a number of pitches and the count 2-2. And finally he chased a bad ball, yielding to Street, who got his second strikeout in a row. Terry Tiffey came to the plate now as a pinch hitter for Luis Rodriguez, and Street went right after him, got him in the hole, and tried to finish it off with the crowd standing, holding their breath. With Terry Tiffey trying to keep the game alive. 26-year-old infielder out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. Got a brief taste of the majors last year for 17 games with the Twins. Street ready now with 2 out, and the 0-2 delivery. Check swing. Gone! Strike 3! A's win the ball game, and after second and third and nobody out, Houston Street strikes out the side, and the A's get back in the win column in a hurry, and they maintain a share of the American League West lead, with Anaheim pulverizing the Mariners up north right now. And the final score today, the Athletics in another comeback victory. They triumph 5-2. And the A's number 5 starter, Kirk Saros, wound up with his 8th victory of the year. And Saros has been a guy who, when he goes to the mound, usually gives the A's a great chance to win, whether he gets the decision or not. And he's been a very important part of this strong rotation for the Athletics. He'll be talking with Ken right after.